fine. Okay, we'll move to the next lecture, next part of the chapter from chapter number 1. In the previous section, we have already discussed about what is food, right? And then after we have discussed about the variety of foods, okay, in which we have discussed about what are ingredients called, right? So that topic we have completed in the part 1. Today we'll be discussing the next topic, that is sources of food. What do you mean by sources of food? Source means a place that we get something, right? But here it is sources of food means what? The place from which we get the food. Okay, so a simple, very simple meaning, or you can say define of the, you can say the place or living organism from which we obtain food, right? So basically we all know there are main two sources of food. Okay, there are, broadly we can divide that there are two sources of food. The first source of food, okay, that is plants, and the other source of food I can say as animals. Okay, so we will discuss like what all things we get it from plants and what all things we get it from animals, which we use them as a food, or we eat them as a food, or we can say which we use as an ingredient in order to prepare a particular food dish, right? So let us understand about the plants. Now what are plants? So plants are generally, we all know, like they prepare their own food, so they are called autotrophs. Okay, about how do they prepare, those all we will be discussing in 7th standard chapter 1, right? So basically they are autotrophs. What for, as of now you need to remember, they prepare their own food, so that's why they are called autotrophs. Auto means self and trophs means nourishment. So they get food by their own, they prepare it by their own, so they are called autotrophs, right? So we have discussed about plants. Now we will discuss about plants with an example. Let us take an example of, say for example, mango. Right now the season of mango is going on, right? Everybody loves to eat mango. So just tell me, which part of the mango tree do we eat? Which part of mango do we eat? So we eat a fruit part of the mango, right? Do we eat leaves of mango tree? No. Do we eat stem of mango tree? No. Do we eat roots of mango tree? No. So what I can say, for a mango tree I eat the fruit part, right? Let us take one more example of, say for example, spinach, right? Spinach means in Hindi or Gujarati we can say palak. Okay, so spinach, which part of the plant do we eat? We eat leaves, right? We eat leaves part of the plant. So what we can conclude from these two examples is different parts of different plants have been eaten as a food. It is not necessary that mangoes fruit I am eating, so all other plants fruit only part I will eat, right? So different plants have different parts which can be used for eating, right? So that are called edible. What is edible means? Things which can be eaten. Say for example, this pen is there. Okay, can you eat this pen? Is this the object that can be eaten? No, right? So we can say it is inedible oil or non-edible oil, right? Non-edible object, right? Other thing, like if I talk about, say for example, milk. So milk you can drink, yes. So it is an edible food, right? Say for example, one more example, let us take an example that orange you are eating. So it is a edible part. Of course, it is a edible part. So the objects or the food or a material which can be eaten is called edible. Okay. So one of the meaning that you have to understand is edible. Edible means what? Edible means, what do you mean by edible? Edible means what? The part, or you can say material or material that can be eaten. Okay, वो चीजें जो हम खा सकते हैं, that is called what? Material that can be eaten, that is called edible. Rest other things will be non-edible, right? So we have understood edible. So what I am trying to say over here, that different parts of different plants are eaten. Okay, different parts of different plant are eaten. So let us see few examples. What are the different parts of the plant and what are the examples under which what we eat as a food, right? So let us start with an example. That firstly, root. So which plant's root do we eat? Which plant's root do we eat? Okay, so a very good example that you always also know, that is carrot. The carrot that we are eating, right? Or we can say radish, right? Beetroot you can say. Those are what? Those are actually root that we are eating. Understood? We are not eating the other parts of the plant, but we are eating this as a root, which is actually root part of the plant that we are eating. Okay, another next one. We can say the stem. So which plant's stem do we eat? What this means that which plant's stem do we eat? Okay, so we generally eat potatoes and sugarcane, right? And many other examples are there. I hope you can add few examples by your own as well, right? So potato which we are eating is actually what? It is actually a stem part of the plant. And sugarcane is also that which we are chewing, right? Okay, yeah, the juice that we drink, right, for a sugarcane. That is actually what? That is actually a stem of the plant, sugarcane plant, right? Next, which part do we eat? So we eat flower. Okay. So which part do we eat? We eat a flower part. So which plant's flower part do we eat? Which plant's flowers part do we eat? Okay. So let us take an example of cauliflower. Cauliflower, rose, etc. Okay, many examples are there whose flower part we eat as a food. Right? I hope you are getting it. Next one, leaves. Which plant's leaves do we eat? So there are numerous examples, right? Which plant's leaves we eat as a leaves? So plants like spinach, which I already explained you. Then you can say about cabbage. Right? Then you can say coriander, dhania, that is methi, right? Many examples are possible. Coriander, etc. Many examples, numerous examples can be under this category, right? Apart from that, seeds are also possible. Say for example, seed is also possible. Some plants seed also we eat. Okay. So which plants seed do we eat? Right? Which plants seeds do we eat? So you can say mustard. Mustard means what? Rye. Understood? Mustard we eat. Then we eat soya bean. We eat moong. We eat chana. So those all are actually what? Seeds. Understood? So let us add a few examples. Moong, right? Then chana, and etc. Many examples are there. So this what we have discussed is depending upon the edible part, that is the one which can be eaten. There are different parts of different plants that can be used as a food. I hope you understood the sources of food in case of plants, right? Let us discuss about the animals, right? So let us discuss about the animals. So what do we get from animals? What do we get from animals? So basically we get what? Milk that we eat every day, right? Milk that is what we drink every day. Then meat, chicken, right? What else we get? Eggs, right? Then prawns, right? Then fish, and many other things that we eat as a food from as a animal, right? We will broadly understand more about the milk, right? From milk we can prepare few more things. What are those? Say for example, I can prepare paneer, right? I can prepare paneer. Yes. Then I can prepare curd, right? Then what else I can prepare? I can prepare butter. I can prepare cheese, right? What else I can prepare? I can prepare buttermilk. I can prepare ghee, right? So many things I can prepare it from a milk. So I can say that these all are, I can name them these all as a milk product. I can say them as a milk products, right? Because these all things are prepared from the milk, right? I hope you got the sources of food. Okay, we'll just quickly revise the topic what has been discussed. Sources of food. Source means from where we obtain the food. Basically we have two types of sources. Plant that are called autotrophs, animals are called heterotrophs, right? Because they do not prepare their own food, so they are called as heterotrophs because they depend on others. Hetero means other. They depend on other for food, so they are called heterotrophs, right? What are the different parts of plant that can be eaten as a food? That is what we have discussed over here. We have discussed what all we get from the animals which we eat as a food. So these all we have things we have discussed, right? In the next class we will be discussing about how to prepare sprouted moons, right? From where do we get honey and what do animals eat? Okay, that would be the last part of our chapter. I hope you understood this whatever has been taught today. If you have any doubt or any confusion, feel free to ask me. Thank you.